Good morning, is it from Zetster's Lab? So, art is a stepping stone, just like in life. One thing always leads to the next. So, after my experiment with the one reference photo and then all my art supplies being used, where did it lead? That is the question today, and I am over the moon with excitement. But before I am telling you where it is leading me, this morning, if you've seen my previous video, life never turns out as planned. So as I was walking up to my actual studio to go and get this large book, it's a book that I am using. I'm tearing out these beautiful pages and then printing on them, Gelli Plate printing and collaging. So I was actually walking up into my studio. It's on the second floor, and when I got there, I found my Gelli Plate is busy running away. I don't know how, but I left it on my desk, the desk where I usually work on my computer. And I left it there in one of my crazy things, and it melted. I was shocked. My Gelli Plate melted and was running all over my desk. Watch my previous short video, and all I could do was just burst out laughing. But well, what now? So my day changed a little bit. Immediately I felt, I am losing control. Look at my workspace up there. It is chaos. I am losing control. So I first had to clean my desk, melt my Gelli Plate, molded it into a new one, and now I'm here. And as I was doing all of this, I just realized art is just a stepping stone. Life, whatever we do, is just a stepping stone for the next step. So I have been having a ball these last 2 days. I have been gluing. I am in love with gluing and tearing papers. So when husband walked past last night, he said, I see you are busy nesting. So this is my nest in front of my TV watching tennis. And I think at this stage, most of my art supplies are now actually here. My big bag with my acrylics, my oil pastels, a little bag full of these black chalk things, my little bag with all my pencils and pens, my soft pencils, pastels, another little book, my other sketchbook, my watercolors. Well, everything is now here because I've used everything to create the 12 art pieces for my experiment. So you've seen them. So where did it lead me? Oh my goodness, to collaging. I absolutely fell in love with collaging. So as I was sitting here the other night watching TV or whatever, more listening because I am doing all of this, so I am very busy, I saw a beautiful picture somewhere of flowers, roses in a vase, and I decided, you know what, let me me just glue some papers on and see if I can do it, because I've never ever done it in my life, creating a vase with flowers, collaging. And just look at this. This is absolutely, I am shocked, surprisingly shocked, loving every moment of it. So once again, my previous experiment led to this, and now I am loving it. So I created this one evening late, and what I really did the next morning is I added just a little bit of oil pastels. Remember, I've learned also in my experiment that you can use oil pastels on acrylics. So these things that I glued on, all my pieces, are acrylic gel prints that I have tore up. So the acrylic is paint. I just added here and there just a little bit, a hint with my oil pastels, and just look at it. It is absolutely, I'm in love with it. I am in love with it. Love every moment of it. I glued a background first here and there. I didn't glue the whole thing, just here and there. Then I glued my pot. And the awesome thing is, the next morning when I came back to this, it was really 99% done. I realized, you know what, I can still glue. When I find, oh, I need a little bit of black here, or I need my pot to have more white, or whatever, I could just glue another piece on. It's like painting. You just add another piece. Man, it is crazy. And on this one, what I forgot on my previous two, remember the mountain race and the little house, I did two gluing things there, collages there as well. I forgot about the writing. You know, you can glue pieces that's written on, you can glue that too. So I was actually focusing on just adding that little bit of something different there. So voila, it led me to this. So the next day I thought, no, you know, not enough. So I found another reference photo somewhere that I absolutely loved, and I thought, I'm gonna do it much less. Crazy is not the right word, but I'm gonna use less collaging. So I did this, and then you can see no collaging there. It really is only there. The pot is just one collage piece. There I used the same piece to do the pot and the ear of the thing, and then I used collaging to do the flowers, but nothing background, is just plain the paper that I put it on. There you can see lots of collaging. And then I realized, but you know, I don't like the white at the back. So back came my acrylics. So I used my palette knife and very watery acrylics, and there you can see I applied, I think it was light brown, very, very light, and then white on top, here and there. So here it led, my first one led to this one, here where I used my acrylics for the background again. Isn't that awesome? So after this, I wasn't done yet. So yesterday I was sitting here and I saw a photo of a person walking into the sunset. It was very yellow and very crazy. So I thought, you know, let me try this. So I used, once again, I tore up some of my Gelli Plate prints, Gelli prints, and then I really used lots of acrylic. I used it with my palette knife. I used it with my finger at the end to get this painting. So can you see the process, the stepping stones? I did my experiment. It led me to collaging. Then I did a thing only collaging, and then later I added my acrylics, and with this one I even covered most of it, really most of it, with acrylic paint. After it, I then drew once again. I used my oil pastels, that is it. I actually used lots of oil pastels to get this one like this. You can see the oranges there, most of oil pastels, a lot of the black is my oil pastel, and it works fantastically over acrylic. That is something I've learned also through my experiment. So what was the whole plan of the experiment? Actually, to see what I really like. What techniques do I really like? And well, out of it, that came the collaging. So this I did yesterday. This yellow one, it was quite it was more difficult than the flowery ones, because it was kind of a challenge to get this scene with the collaging papers until I felt satisfied. So this was a challenge. And then I was sitting here just looking at all my stuff, and then I thought, you know what, I am actually putting a little bit of pressure on me. This sounds funny, but this minute you start to make bigger things that you can give away as presents, that you can sell, whatever, there's a kind of reserve creeping in. That is what happened with this one. I wasn't totally satisfied, so I didn't know, what should I use? Should I use oil pastels? Should I use my soft pastels? Should I go for my acrylics? And I was kind of tentative, scared to mess it up. And then I thought, you know what? I was going through my little sketchbook. This is my go-to sketchbook. And I was busy doing faces. Once again, I think I went on to, I don't know, it wasn't YouTube. And I saw these little faces, round faces, and the person was just going with that. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to play. So I started doing little faces. And then next to it, I glued a piece of paper, and I thought, let me just play. I saw a picture once again of a pot and a couple of flowers, very, very plain. And I thought, oh, well, let me just do something with it. So what I actually did, and my freedom returned. All of a sudden, back was my freedom, and I was having a ball because no stress, no anticipation of something that it must be sellable or beautiful or whatever, you know. I don't know why we do that to ourselves, but this one was absolutely a ball. So it was kind of randomly, I just glued an old Gelli Plate print on, then I added a white piece for the pot. I made my roses by tearing up pieces that were typed on, little typed words, you know, pieces. And then I decided later, no man, let me go for my oil pastels. And I just randomly drew with my oil pastels on this. And then I thought, you know what, let me do the yellow for the pot and add a little bit of orange. That was actually all I used. There you can see my white gel pen coming in again. And look here on the left-hand side, my little faces. Once again, oil pastels. Oh my goodness, I'm falling in love with oil pastels. I just started doing the hair. You can see it was quite dark. So I used green hair instead of black or brown. I thought it was brown. But look at the little faces. I added some yellow just to bring the two pieces together. And voila. There you have it. So whenever in your art journey you start to feel pressure, go to your sketchbook. I am absolutely in love with my sketchbook. And I was actually getting a little bit bored with the sketchbook as well, because I was doing, before that, a lot of people's faces. I'm really trying to do more people. I did my Nero something art on that side. There you can see it. I will do a video on that one day as well. You can see my faces, but I didn't even put any color in them the last couple of weeks before I started my experiment. So all of a sudden, my faces and stuff are now turning. You see, there's still little faces that I started doing. I started gluing some Gelli Plate prints also in here. It's a very small little book. You can see half of an A5, or yes, half an A5. So 4 of these pages make up a A4. So no one, I wrote this morning, I'll end with this. No one is you, and that's your power. Isn't it awesome? I'm the only one that's me, and that gives me my power, the same as you. So all we've got to do is just find those things that make us come alive, feel alive, you know? And this is what my creativity and all my things are teaching me. So thank you that I can share my journey. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I love your comments. I love talking to you. As I said, I do this because sharing is my superpower. I love to share. So don't feel stuck. Just start doing something like I did. All of a sudden, just starting. I didn't want to really go into a project, so I was just grabbing my book, and I was just, one thing led to another, and that's where I landed onto my experimenting with all my different art supplies, incorporating them, bringing them back to my art. Because you know, the most awesome thing about what this experiment and where I am now at showed me is my art is my art. My style is my style. I cannot do anything about it. You know, you try to find your style when you started with your art. And the more you do it, the more you paint, the more you glue, the more you are creative, the more your style comes to the forefront. And now I think I started in 2008 with my art journey, and now nearly 20 years down the line, I found my style. And guess what? Even though I used all of these different types of art supplies and art techniques, my style is there loud and clear. Isn't it awesome? And that is just what I'm trying to say. That is where our power lies, in really just doing, in just being, in just walking life, not even my art life, but ordinary life, day by day, minute by minute, step by step. And as I always say, the life and the light is in us. And that light only shines in, through, and around me at this moment, showing me my next step. It's not a torch or whatever. It doesn't show you, 100 steps ahead. It only shows you here where you are and your next step. And no pressure. You know exactly what you need to do next. Just become still. Listen to your heart, not your mind. Listen to your heart. And just do what's right in front of you right now. And that is how you move victoriously forward in your life journey, in your art journey, filled with peace and joy and power and creativity. It's no longer a stressful thing. My art and my stuff, in many, many ways, I'm itching, became stressful because I had things in my mind that I need to do and how I had to do it and everything. And when that didn't turn out, I feel stressed and I didn't know what next. But now I am learning, the same as in my life journey. Just take things one step at a time and observe. That's the awesome thing. Look and see. Isn't that awesome? Look and see what I will do. And the I means the abundant, everlasting life in you. So become still and become an observer where you can look and see what the life in you is showing you. And that makes your journey joyful, peaceful, abundantly filled with overflowing life, because the stress of having to make things happen and blah, 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 that's gone. Love you lots. Is it from Zester's Lab? I've already did something else, but I'm going to leave that for my next video. So just relax, start to enjoy the journey that we call life in this realm.